guys, sorry for the delays and not being a Zoom because it would be much easier to look at this, but hopefully it'll load because it's third time's a charm, hopefully. So like I said, I wanted to share with you guys my routine, my schedule, how I lay out the Success Club tracker throughout my day, and hopefully this can help to just give you an idea of my example so that you can utilize this in your own life, because obviously my schedule is going to be completely different from yours, but I hope that it'll at least give you an idea of just how systematic you can make your life with still having a life and flexibility and still having time with your family while also running this business and doing work and whatever else. So obviously my full-time job is being a mom, which takes a lot of my day, so it was very necessary for me to put this together. So I know that everyone here can relate to whether you're full-time mom or not full-time mom. We're all whether if you're a mom, you're always a full-time mom, but you get my point. Stay-at-home mom, full-time working mom, and no matter what your scenario is, you can fit this into your life. So at the end of the day, we all have 24 hours. We all have the choice. And to me, I know that whenever I've done this in the past, and then I stopped when we went on our road trip and realized how much it was a necessity in my life to get back to doing it. So my stress, anxiety levels, my mindfulness to everything I'm doing, my presentness, like so being present as a wife, being present as a mom, being present as a coach and as a friend, is definitely where this is the solution. So with all that to say, I'm just going to go straight through this. I'm going to be detailed, but I'm also going to be quick so that you get the most out of it, but can reach out if you have any questions, and just let me know. Hopefully this will help you. So I'll be going back and forth between the Google Calendar, which you'll see here. I have on my notes broken out the Success Club tracker and how I organize my life with all of that. And then I also will share with you how I'm utilizing the post ideas. If you're seeing this when I posted it, I had just or when I post this video, then I just recently shared this in the group. Otherwise, let me know if you can't find it, because this has been super helpful for also having things systematic. Basically, what this all boils down to is no system, no life. Rachel Hollis shares in her movie, if you haven't watched it before, like a major truth bomb, which was if you do not have an hour to yourself, you do not have a life. And I couldn't agree more. We all have 24 hours, and if we can't dedicate one of those to ourselves, I truly believe that's just your first sign of overwhelm, stress, anxiety, and just being all over the place. And we can all do this. So it's just a personal choice you have to make for yourself. And there's sacrifices, there's things that you have to say no to. You have to be very strict with yourself about what time you're going to bed so that you can wake up in the morning. Because for me, my hour is in the morning. So I'm going to get to it. So as you can see here, everything is, I'm a color-coded kind of person. That's why I love the color-coded portion control containers. But on top of that, this is very clean to me, which makes me happy to go into my schedule, and there's a reason why I did it this way. Instead of writing out all the things that would be under work here on my calendar, I reserved that for my list here in my notes, check off, which I'll show you in a minute. So for starters, I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. This is Monday, this is Sunday, this is Saturday, this is Friday, this is any day of the week, as you can see. And there's a reason behind that. I'm very much a person of, I have to stick to my routine, my morning routine at least, at the bare minimum, or I feel like a hot mess. Anxiety, I get agitated, I get irritable, I get fussy, cranky, anxious, you name it. It's just not pretty. I've tried taking weekends and say like, okay, I'll just sleep in, and it just doesn't work for me. So you have to find what works for you, but this is what helps me to stay the course with my life and filling up my cup first thing in the morning without distraction of baby or husband or work life or anything else, family, you name it. This hour is 100% me. I do not check email. I do not check Facebook. I do not check Instagram. I don't check anything on my phone. I get up at 5, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, change into my workout clothes, hop right back into bed, which is not the best way, but I sit up, I do my meditation, and I do my routine for Miracle Morning. You're welcome to check out the book, or reach out if you have questions. We'll be implementing that more in the Conquer Your Mind, Transform Your Life accountability group. And if you've been with me for any length of time, you've probably heard me talk about it a lot. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now, and it has completely changed my life. So that hour is so special and so necessary for me. After that hour, I wake up, Christian, feed him, and then get straight to my workout. And right after my workout, you'll see where it says play from 7 to 8. That's me being mom, but I will be honest with you, the first few minutes of that, I am like powering through to get my stories for my workout video posted, and then like a lot of times I try to do like some video of encouragement within my Instagram stories. And you'll see, most likely if you're following along my journey, then you see that Christian's with me, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this business, is you just make it work and roll as you go. So this first breakout session, I'm going to share with you now my checkoff list, and you'll notice how similar it is because it's exactly from the Success Club tracker. So what I want to share here, and I know I just mentioned to you like stories, that's like, so I really need to kind of like readjust this a little bit, but the reason I didn't is because I kind of use this as like a back burner. If I don't get my stories posted during that right after my workout time, then I make sure that I get it done in my first power hour. And you'll see all of this. It says power hour, and then I have a double power hour, right? You may not have a full hour during the day. It meant that your power hour might only be at night for your business, and that's completely okay. Everybody has to find what works for them, but you'll also see here that I have in these power hours, I have segments of time, and so you can still do that same thing and just have power pockets instead of power hours. So just finding what works for you. Just the point here is creating a system, and if you really want this to work for your life, you'll make a system to make it work. So for post, it says 5 minutes because I actually don't do my posts. I don't write my posts in the morning. I write them the night before, and you'll see that as I continue to go down this list. But it helps. It helps to clear my mind. It helps to give me more focus on other things whenever I'm going to do my first power hour. Challenge group, same thing. I actually create my scheduled post for the Conquer Your Mind, Transform Your Life the night before. So actually right after I get off this video, I will be wrapping that up. And that way it's scheduled in the groups. If you don't know, on Facebook groups, you can actually go in and like when you go to make a post, there's an option to schedule one. I don't know if you can see that if you're not an admin, but regardless, it's very simple. And that's what I do. And that way that's already done. So every morning at 6 o'clock my time, that first post of the day is posted into the challenge group. So that way it's available for everyone on their own time. And then as well as invites from previous days' post. Later on in one of my Power Pockets, there's invites from previous days' stories. And I do that intentionally to break it up to help make it a little bit easier for me and to give me more structure and routine and system. So with that to say, again, this is all coming from the Success Club tracker. So I'm still using my Success Club tracker. I still like to check it off on paper, but this is definitely helping me in a way of breaking it out so that way I know what I'm doing each day at certain times of the day. In that same power hour, I'm adding followers, which I've now moved 100% over to Instagram. Big reason is because I've maxed out my Facebook friend list. You can only have 5,000, which I'm actually really happy. I finally got pushed in the direction of Instagram because Instagram definitely grows and makes it a little easier to find your avatar and stuff like that. But that's for another video. And then my follow-ups. So I just set some time for that. So this power hour is set, and you'll see here that like this, my first power hour, you'll see it says 8 to 10. And this says an hour. And the reason I do that is because if I need a little bit more time here in some of these sections, then I'll have that time. Or if Christian doesn't sleep more than an hour, which generally he doesn't, he usually sleeps now an hour to hour and a half, I just set that block so I don't stress myself out and feeling like I don't have enough time for something. And I think it's very, very vital, especially when you're first starting on a schedule, not to overbook yourself. And I know if this, you may be like, well, this is a lot of bookings, but feeding, I schedule for half an hour. It generally does not take me a full half hour every time to feed Christian, but I, again, want to make sure that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to go back to back to back on things. So I give myself that free time, that like enough time, enough pocket. It's like being conservative with my time as much as possible, so that way I don't stress myself out. And then, so let's see. Okay, so that was my first power hour, and then the next feeding right after he wakes, and then my next thing is clean. So this schedule and this system is not just about my business. It's literally organizing my life. So you may have already seen here is my cleaning Monday through Friday. I do that because I don't want to clean on the weekends. And I don't want to be feeling like I'm cleaning for an entire day either. And I know that I'm in an RV, and so it doesn't take me as long as it would maybe take you in a full house to clean. But the idea, again, is just creating structure and system and finding what works for you. What works for me is setting aside 30 minutes each day to cleaning a certain something in the RV, and that way by Friday, it's spick and span. And what I've noticed is I'm on week 2, 3, I can't remember now, week 2 or week 3 of cleaning. Yeah, I'm on week 3. Of cleaning, and it's made it so much easier. So like, because I'm always cleaning the kitchen on Mondays, it doesn't get all that messy. So it's actually not taking near as long as it did the first time, because this is something I took away also from Rachel Hollis's movie. She shared 5 successful tips of like of success, and one of them was your environment. And I don't know about you, but when we put off cleaning and what we want to do to make our environment and surroundings around us clean and tidy and relaxing and soothing and like just a fun, clean environment to be in, then it makes it that much more, it just makes you feel better. We all know that, right? So I noticed that by me setting time to do that each day, it helped to make me feel better and feel better in my environment. So I like that I get to do that, and it works. The next thing is playtime with Christian. So again, I'm being present as a mom. I'm doing my best to I'm getting better at not being on social media during these times. I'm not saying that I'm perfect at it, because I'm far from it. I check my phone way too often still, but it's getting better thanks to this system. And then I also will utilize this time for phone calls, whether it's with family, friends, coaching, or talking with a new client or something. But I will not set more than 2 phone calls a day at max. And if it's with a client or a coach, then it's shorter. If it's with my mom doing a FaceTime, obviously that's playtime with Christian, so it's different. But the idea there is being present as a mom, going outside, doing what I can. Next, nap, and then work. So my next power hour. So again, you're going to see here on my second nap power hour that I have follow-ups, invites, coach groups, so connecting with coaches, whether directly in the group or privately, whatever it might be. And then here in our Families on a Mission, invitation, pull, ask a question story, and then shout out story. Again, broken out in segments, again, broken out to a power hour, and again, you can make this power pocket. And again, it's the Success Club Tracker. So just broke that Success Club Tracker out to make it work for my life. That's simple. Same exact strategy. And then the next system is feeding my little man again, and then I take a shower. You guys, this might seem so unbelievably silly to you, but for me, it was vital to put this into my schedule, and it was vital because even last week I noticed that, so before putting the schedule together, I was seeing that, I wasn't doing that good of a job at, being consistent with taking showers, and it's what it is. We're, being a stay-at-home mom, it happens, but it's the smallest things. So when I preach all the time about it's baby steps and it's the smallest things, big or small, that help us to create habit in our life, I literally mean the smallest things, like taking a shower. Because I've already noticed in the 3 weeks that I've been doing this and getting back to the schedule, there's been days where I was like, oh, whatever, I can just get away with not taking a shower. It's not a big deal. But I knew in my mind, how important it was for me to take that shower, so that one, it helps to give me a little bit more energy in the afternoon, but two, it helps me to create habit, because if I continue to show up to make that shower a must, then I'll do the same thing with every other area, and it just helps your mindset shift. And it's something as stupid as a shower. So I just wanted to share that. So the next thing is play and prep. So I will I rotate this out, and you'll see here weekly park prep stuff. So I try to go back and forth on prep days, so that way I'm also getting Christian outside and going to the park and just doing fun things together, and that kind of thing. And then honestly, like something like this, like today, I had a doctor's appointment. We had an ultrasound, and whenever they ask like when you're available, I kid you not, like I set myself up to try to be available during times that like work a little bit better for my schedule, just like I would be treating this business like a real business, and treating my life like a business, like which that sounded weird. I don't know why I said that, but you get what I'm saying. Like I'm making this fit, knowing like, okay, if I have a doctor's appointment, and our doctor's appointment got scheduled for 2:30, and it was great because it didn't interfere too much, and I was able to plan ahead and make sure that food was prepped, so I didn't have to worry about prepping for that day. So there's that. Feeding again, and then playtime is a little bit longer of a stretch, so the afternoons or / evenings are for me being mom and just spending time with Christian. And then by the time hubby gets home, I've specifically set like a half an hour of him and I to just connect, and we started saying no to Netflix and no to other things that weren't serving us as a married couple, and now we get to spend some time together and just talk about our days, and talk about life and just whatever, and it just makes for a great time together. It gives me something to look forward to every night, because he works a lot right now, so and then I know like I plug back into my work from 8 to 10, so that's a double power hour, which you will see here. And again, it just goes back to the Success Club tracker. Follow-ups, invites from previous day's posts or stories, respond to all new likes, comments, and views, prep next day's post. So as I shared earlier in the video, that I put together my post the night before that I post the next day. So for example, today's post I did last night, and then post it at 7 o'clock. And that's kind of like my goal, is to have it posted at 7 o'clock. Or anywhere between 7 and 8 really. And then plan of action for next day's challenge group content. So like I said earlier, I pre-plan and schedule posts for the challenge group the night before. Engage with coach group, and prep post for sneak peek. So like I said, that's all content that's coming from the Success Club tracker. I've just figured out a way for it to work better in my life. I'm not saying that I do this perfectly, and there's stuff that I don't check off in the mornings that I'll end up having to make up later on, whatever. But the idea here is I'm noticing just how much it's helping me to be more effective, more efficient, more focused, and have more mindfulness and presence in my life in every area. So I'm excited to see how this continues to work. I'm excited to see how you can help make this work for your life as well, because it truly is transformative. To me, this is all about life. It's not just about this Beachbody business, it's about life as a whole, that when we can do this, we realize just how much we can get done in 24 hours and how much energy you gain from this, because your mind isn't so bogged down with mental fog. So it's super, super helpful. So the last thing I want to share really quick is, you can see here I do have my weekly post agenda. So this got even more organized thanks to the recent share from Dare to Dream, with this 22 days of coaching posts. So I loved seeing this. Again, I'm such a systems person, that when I saw this, it helped me to give ideas. So for the most part, I'll stick to this. If there's something else that I find that I want to share for the day, this isn't like, oh my gosh, so rigid you have to stick to it, but it definitely gives you much more focus and much more intentionality, because the top 3 things that you definitely want to focus on as you're sharing your journey and sharing your life, it's one of 3 things. If you don't have one of 3 things, then when you're sharing, probably shouldn't post it. And that is to inspire, educate, or entertain. And this does all of that. So yay. So anyways, this is how I check off that. This is how I keep my calendar, like I said, organized. Let me go back to that really quick. So instead of making this all sloppy and all the details here, I've just put the details over here on my to-do list. So again, hope this has been helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. But most of all, take action and know that it starts off with filling up your cup and allowing the fill up of your cup to overflow and to ultimately overflow and pour into others. I love you guys. Bye.